Welcome to Living Your Path. I am Cecile Ferry, a coach and astrologer. I'm here to guide you on how to live and work in alignment with your true self so you can find fulfillment and serenity. Hello, my beautiful people, and welcome to your delayed cosmic catch-up update for week commencing the 18th of November. My apologies for this being late. I am sick this week, so I really put my needs for rest first. And today I feel like I have enough energy in the tank to record this, so that will be the only podcast episode for this week. But I really wanted to cover the new moon happening this week. I think it's going to be a really interesting and powerful one. So that's what I'm going to focus on. Let's just recap first. We are still in Mercury retrograde. You may have noticed things not working to plan, lots of technological blips happening around. I certainly have seen it. So let's just try to laugh a little bit when this happens and be flexible. We've got this going until the 29th, so the end of the month. And as of today, pretty much when I'm recording this, Mercury is retrograding back into Scorpio. So it was kind of covering the couple of degrees it had done in Sagittarius. And it was about thinking about the big picture and our belief system. And now going into Scorpio again, that will put the focus of our introspection on our emotional life, really, our deep, nearly unconscious needs and behaviors, and it's an invitation to look at what do we need to change there, and that will go beautifully with the new moon. So that is the center of this week. It is happening on Thursday in New York at 1:47 in the morning, in London at 6:47 in the morning, and in Australia at 5:47 p.m. in the afternoon, Sydney time. So it is a pretty big one because at 28 degrees Scorpio. So have a look where this falls in your chart. This is the area of your life where you will experience a new beginning, a fresh start, and I will even say a rebirth because it's Scorpio, the sign of transformation. So especially if you have planets in the final degrees of Scorpio, of Taurus, of Leo or Aquarius, you will feel this change, this rebirth even more strongly. I will say this is a time where there's a lot of water energy. So we have a lot of planets in Scorpio right now, and around that time we'll have the Sun, the Moon, Venus, and Mercury in Scorpio. So hello, intense feelings. We also have Jupiter in Cancer, and we have Saturn, Neptune, and the North Node in Pisces. That is a lot of water energy, and we are all swimming in it. So just be mindful, especially if you are a sensitive person and you pick up on other people's emotion, you might get quite overwhelmed this week, or you might feel like you might see people overwhelmed around you. So just a note of caution and care to take it easy and try to protect your energy, not absorb too much, and to stay grounded as much as possible. So it might be good to go out in nature or in water to kind of flow this out, but it will definitely feel like emotions are heightened this week. And I will say this new moon, so it's a new moon, so fresh start, but because it's in Scorpio and there's all that energy, it actually has like the flavor of a full moon. Because full moon is the time when we release things in order for the new to start. So we might be saying, hey, we've done that 2 weeks ago at the Taurus full moon. Yes, we have. But this is another level of shedding because of the Scorpio energy. Scorpio is all about releasing the old and shedding all skin, all patterns, things that need to really die in order for the rebirth to take place. So if we don't do the death part of it, we're not going to have a rebirth. It just doesn't magically appear on top of things that have not been cleared and kind of got rid of. So to add to this new moon, we have Mercury conjunct the Sun and the moon. It's retrograde still, but when it's sitting right on top of the sun, it's called a Mercury cazimi. It means it's a break from the retrograde energy. I really like the Mercury cazimi because you get one day of instant clarity. It's like the fog lifts. So I think it's really powerful for the new moon that Mercury is sitting right in the heart of the sun. So it means that we will get some insights. And how we're going to get them? It might be a little brutal or radical because the new moon is opposite Uranus. Very tight opposition. This means that we might see unexpected revelations coming to the surface. There may be a few surprises, a few shocks coming our way around the time of this new moon. Something might happen out of the blue. But that will be liberating for us. So if you like, we need to shed some stuff. We are ready for a rebirth and we're getting like an accelerator version of that. That will probably come through some external circumstances. So watch out for, sudden insight, flashes of insights or ideas that just seem maybe a bit out of the blue, or just events that happened, and just know they are happening for your own good. In addition to the new moon, at the same time, we have a very positive aspect, which is a grand trine amongst the water signs. So I've mentioned that before. It's a triangle in the sky, like a perfect triangle where the energies really flow well. So on one end, we have Neptune and Saturn in Pisces, which is about anchoring our vision. The other end, we have Jupiter in Cancer, which is expanding our vulnerability and bringing us emotional growth. So lots of lessons there. And the other end is the new moon, the sun and moon and Mercury in Scorpio, revealing our truth, giving us clarity of purpose. So the three aspects together are bringing us beautiful flow of, first of all, intuition, and really beautiful visionary energy flowing, which will be very supportive as we are planning this rebirth. So, what to do and what to ask yourself during this new moon. I will say this sounds like the full moon questions I would suggest, but they are really important and I'm pondering them myself. Because, side note, this new moon is happening right on top of my ascendant, like exact same degree. So I have the sun, moon, and Mercury retrograde sitting on my ascendant at the very time of the new moon. That is pretty rare. So it's like I'm getting rebirth times square. So you bet that I'm preparing those questions too. Here's some examples. What needs to die? What patterns, what mindset habits am I ready to shed, or do I need to break in order to bring in this new upgraded version of myself? I think we know where we want to move towards, and this is asking us to just do one last release, let go of control or those habits that prevent us, frankly, to move into the next cycle. So what am I not taking with me for this next chapter? I think is a really good question. It's also a really good time for manifestation. So ask yourself, what seeds am I planting? What are my intention for the next month? And I would say for next year, because this I see as kind of the beginning of the 2026 energy coming, because it's a rebirth and we all will be going through a rebirth. More on that later next year if we really capitalize on the energies that we have. So this is really good practice run. So as far as what to do, I would recommend having a quiet time on Thursday. Don't plan too much. I would say turn inwards. This is a great time for quiet introspection or doing your own self psychoanalysis. I think really start listing those negative beliefs, those habits, those things that you know are not good for you. And just by listing them, it's a really huge step in awareness, and set the intention to release those things as you embark into this new chapter. So that is the focus for this week. I will also mention this is the last week of Saturn being retrograde in Pisces. Next week, it will move direct and then exit Pisces in a couple of months. So this is very much a last chance to reflect on those Pisces themes, because Saturn won't be in Pisces for another 29 years. So these are the last lessons about ourselves. So really good time to reflect on where you need more structure in your life. Where do you need boundaries? Where do you need more hard work, maybe more effort? Where do you need to dissolve insecurities and fears? Especially look to the house that Saturn in Pisces is in right now to apply those questions. And then at the end of the week, Saturday in Australia, Friday the rest of the world, the sun will move into Sagittarius. So I will talk about Sagittarius season next week. Very different energy, fire. So enjoy the new moon. Have a great rest of the week. And I will talk to you next week.